Hey, listen, when battle rap between two artists starts to cross lines, the blame isn't always as simple as people want it to be. Sometimes it's the audience, sometimes it's the culture around it, and sometimes it's the artists themselves setting the tone. Jay-Z even brought attention to this conversation recently, and the reaction has been everywhere. He pointed out that after the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar rap battle, things may have escalated beyond just music, mainly because supporters on both sides pushed the energy too far. That's where the discussion gets real, because what starts as competition can quickly turn into something more intense once fans get heavily invested. So now the debate isn't just about the artists, it's about the environment surrounding them. And that raises a bigger question. When the reaction becomes louder than the music itself, who's actually responsible for keeping things in check?
Love the sparring and the music you get, but in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it, they almost wish it didn't happen. People that like Kendrick hate Drake. I don't know if I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's helpful to our growth. It's too far. It's like bringing kids in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so. It could stand it before because there was no social media. You had the battle, it was fun, and then you moved on. Yeah. It was like trying to tear down people's life, wreck this guy's marriage or this guy's relationship with his child, and it's like, I don't know if it's worth it at this point. I love the idea that we got so much music in such a short period of time.
Great music.
I don't know if battling needs to be part of the culture.
Now, a lot of people actually pushed back hard against what Jay-Z said. And what stood out is that even some of his own supporters publicly disagreed, which isn't something you see every day, especially at that level. That reaction alone suggests that his statement hit a nerve, whether people fully agree with it or not. Listen, you can't really control how fan bases react on either side. Once people are invested, they tend to form their own interpretations. A lot of fans end up identifying closely with the artists they support, sometimes to the point where they mirror their tone, opinions, and even their behavior online. And that's where things start to get interesting, because parasocial dynamics begin to play a bigger role than actual music discussions. Some supporters genuinely feel connected to artists in a personal way, even though there's no real relationship there. We've seen this pattern play out repeatedly across different fan bases on social media. For example, the long-running tension between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B supporters has shown how quickly communities can turn competitive and defensive. In those spaces, fans dig through past content, old posts, and archived moments to defend their side or challenge the other. Hold up, this kind of behavior isn't new, but the speed and intensity at which it spreads today makes it feel amplified. That same energy has been present in the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar rap battle as well, where fan reactions have continued well beyond the initial exchanges. Even after time has passed, both sides still engage in back-and-forth commentary, which keeps the discussion alive. You'll also see moments where Drake continues to reference past tensions in subtle or direct ways, which reignite conversations among supporters. And when that happens, fan bases respond almost immediately, often escalating things beyond the original context. Now, recently, on Charlamagne Tha God's The Brilliant Idiots, he addressed Jay-Z's comments and offered a different perspective on the situation. He even suggested that part of the responsibility might trace back to how the Drake and Kendrick situation unfolded, which adds another layer to the debate. And to be honest, that viewpoint isn't without reasoning, because once a major rap feud gains that level of visibility, the surrounding reactions can shape the overall impact just as much as the artists themselves.
You know what Jay-Z said? He's like, it turned fans, it's like, oh, if you're a...
It's amazing to watch. Longevity is great.
Amen.
When you have been long...
Because it's hard.
Respect consistency and longevity.
It's hard.
Man.
Do you feel, this might transition us, but do you feel because of the battle between Jake and Kendrick,
who is Jake?
I'm sorry, Drake and Kendrick, that it's gonna mess up their longevity?
No,
Why?
not Kendrick.
I was like, why would it mess up?
Well, I mean, like,
not Drake either, man.
No, but you know what Jay-Z said? He's like, it turned fans, it's like, oh, if you're a fan of one, now you have to hate the other.
I don't even believe that's real. And that I didn't agree with Jay's take. I respected the take, and I understand where the take is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a 56-year-old man's perspective. Can you pull that up? Pull that up.
You're talking about Kendrick?
Yeah, pull that up so it's fresh in my mind. Have you seen this take yet, Andrew?
And I know the internet's not real, but it did seem like online, it's like, hey, you got to pick a side.
That's life. Why do we act like that's
No,
not
but
life?
that's what I said.
I think I'm just looking at my kids' generation. So people, in their late teens, early 20s now, Drake's undoubtedly the biggest artist of their generation.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's going to happen in any way is going to ultimately change how they think.
It's a 1A, 1B, guys. Like, stop. Kendrick is pretty big, bro. Kendrick got a Pulitzer Prize.
Why you not think
Y'all got to stop.
Yo, my kids' lunchroom, they would all start singing God's Plan together or whatever, it was that.
It's a Catholic school.
Exactly.
What Catholic school? New York City Public School. New York City Public School. No fucking Catholic school.
Why wouldn't a bunch of Jewish kids sing God's Plan?
Now
What
it's
are
a
we
Jewish
talking
Catholic
about?
school. So yarmulkes and plaid skirts. I want to go to this school. I got to check it out.
Well, maybe
kids are,
maybe LA is like that for Kendrick.
The world is like that for Kendrick.
Yeah.
Why do y'all act? Listen, there was a time where Kendrick Lamar had the highest grossing tour of a solo rapper ever. And that was the Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper tour.
Right.
And I think this new tour that he just went on with SZA, even though it was him and SZA, that broke the record.
Yeah.
But before that, it was just him.
Right.
Why do we act like Kendrick?
Just because
ain't
y'all don't
guys?
listen to Kendrick doesn't mean that he's not popping.
He got a Pulitzer Prize, Chris. Then records.
Yeah.
Tupac, God bless the dead, definitely went to hell on Biggie. He starts the song off saying, "That's why I fucked you, you fat motherfucker."
Yeah.
That was his wife, his mother, his
But there
children.
wasn't the same reaction channel. There wasn't the same reaction channel and clipping economy that adds so much, gas to the flame.
But time out. You're right, but the Kendrick Drake battle is very unique. Kendrick and Drake battle would have probably been over a long time ago if somebody knew how to take an L. If Aubrey Graham just simply knew how to take an L and didn't do things like sue the record label.
No, I think the damage was done before that.
No, he made it worse.
Yeah.
He sued. I sat here on this podcast, told y'all he was going to sue in jest, sarcasm, sort of, kind of. When I'm right, it's not sarcasm. But so in jest, right? And he actually did. That is what made it worse. All of the things that have been happening after the fact, all of the Drake fan pages who still can't get over the fact that he just lost the rap battle. So they're constantly digging up stuff, constantly trying to find stuff, constantly trying to, rewrite history just because your guy lost a rap battle. Drake kept this going in a way that we've never seen before. None of us, we've never seen somebody sue after losing a rap battle.
Right.
That's what makes this seem nastier than what it is. Like, we've seen people get called wild things in rap battles before. Like we've seen people say, "I fucked your baby mom," and this person fucked your wife, and all. We've seen all of that before.
Right.
We've never seen nobody sue.
That's true.
Drake made it worse. Drake and Kendrick battle is not only the greatest rap battle of all time, it's the most unique rap battle of all time. We never saw anything like this. We never saw somebody like Kendrick. We said, who said it earlier? To the victor go the spoils. You said that, Chris? We've never seen anybody get a victory lap like Kendrick. Grammy Awards for a diss record. Super Bowl halftime show because he had such a monster year. Followed up his diss record with an album, GNX, that was critically acclaimed and commercially successful. Go on tour around the world with the biggest R&B artists and fucking perform these records everywhere. Kendrick spiked the football 1 million different times. We never saw anything like this, guys. Like that, and Jay can't even compare this battle to anything. There's no comparison for this. And I know we're talking about the tech, and that's the other thing. He didn't acknowledge the artist in this, other than to say, yo, you might like this song, you might like that song. Both of these guys went to hell on each other. You got one guy calling one dude a woman beater and saying that his wife is one of the kids is his best friend, and you got Kendrick saying he's a pedophile. Like, it was nasty, like rap battles are. But it was everything that happened after the battle that made this the most unique rap battle ever. So you can't say you don't want to see battles anymore just because of this situation, because this is never going to happen again. This is never going to happen again. Even when not, think about it.
Of course, something like this will happen again. Come on.
I don't
Not
know.
as big,
And I'll tell you,
like-
because of the players.
This is an improvement in some ways.
Yeah.
Verb people use when
Yeah.
somebody gets washed in the street. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Kendrick and motherfucking Drake. I'm sure Drake has been places and heard say, oh, we ho-. Like, I'm sure he's gotten that so many times. Like, I'm sure that shit sticks, just like Twitter fingers stuck to Meek.
Yeah.
So in great rap battles, there's going to be things that stick, but the artists have to learn to move on. If the artists move on, so will the fans. The only reason people haven't moved on in this situation is because of Drake. I'm telling you, if Drake hadn't have sued and made this the issue and all of that other shit, it'd have been gone.
Really?
If Drake wasn't sitting around, you know, talking to his influencer friends and, you know, telling them things, and they get on podcasts and on their screams and talk about it, like nothing, it would have been gone already.
But that's the thing. That's what the internet does.
Yeah.
There's a place for it.
And
And the battle
of
is
the artists.
But the battle is won on the internet, kind of between the stan communities, not really between the artists.
What if the artist would have already went out? What if Drake would have changed the temperature already? He put out the Party Next Door album, right? What if he did? What if Iceman might change the temperature? Unless he's still rapping about this shit. We heard snippets from the motherfucker, and he's still throwing shot. Like, let the shit go. If you move on, so will the audience.
Now, the one area where I have to push back on Charlamagne is this. This isn't something new that's just going to disappear. Because ever since the rise of social media, we've been seeing the same pattern repeat itself. And honestly, it's only escalating over time. The next time two major artists with massive fan bases clash, it's not going to look any cleaner than what we've already seen. And in some cases, it could easily be even more intense than before. But to be fair, Charlamagne isn't completely wrong. If Drake decides to truly move forward from this battle, his core supporters will likely follow his lead and shift their focus as well. And realistically, he really only needs to do a couple of things. That means cutting off conversations with media personalities whenever Kendrick or TDE comes up, and redirecting his energy back into the style of music he was consistently delivering before the 2024 battle. Because once Drake stops entertaining the topic publicly, the conversation around him tends to lose momentum just as quickly. Now, that whole idea depends on one major assumption, that Drake actually wants to put this behind him. From another angle, it's also possible that Drake is still carrying a sense of unfinished business from 2024, which is why, as I mentioned earlier, the Iceman project could end up being a defining moment in his career. That project will likely reveal where his head is at emotionally and what path he's choosing moving forward after everything that happened. And if he's still interested in running it back with Kendrick in some form, that changes the entire direction of what comes next. Personally, what I'd rather see is Drake leaning back into the melodies and returning to a space where it feels like he's genuinely enjoying the creative process again, because audiences can easily pick up on whether an artist is having fun in the studio, just like they can tell when that energy feels forced or still tied to frustration from a loss. Listen though, drop your thoughts in the comments below. What's your take on Charlamagne suggesting that Drake should move on and stop engaging with Kendrick and his circle, so the wider audience can move on as well? Make sure to like the video, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.